That's why the common sense comes in, right? And I'm really intrigued by this billionaires conclave of a thing. I've always had this dilemma, or not a dilemma, a big question about life. Why isn't everybody rich in that sense? And Jeffrey has maybe tackled a part of that question, but now to find a very good balance, because they always say Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world, and the next thing is the government is not doing well. That's why we have that number of poor people, that high population of poor people, right? But there's also the personal bit. So how do we find a good balance? Because some will say, well, I have good intentions, but when I want to do stuff, there's no light. The road is bad. There is terrible healthcare system, policies, and all of that. So in this climb, you've been able to show that we can have billionaires, yes. But how can we replicate that in terms of personally and government policy-wise?
Now, the first thing you need to understand is that everybody can become rich and wealthy,
in spite of
but not everybody will become rich and wealthy, because not everybody will know and do what they need to know and do. Some don't know what to do, because if you know better, you do better. Some know, but they don't do it, and they just hope and wish that one day it will just happen. No, riches are cash based, wealth is asset based. So you can be rich because you have money, but that doesn't make you wealthy. To be wealthy means you have assets that is now producing the cash flow. Now, every time people talk about the crisis in Nigeria, crisis creates opportunity, because money hides in problem. It is those who solve the problem that have the money. So every time you are complaining there is no road, look, sit down with elderly people. It has always been like that. In the 70s, they had their excuse. In the 80s, there was still no light. In the 90s, so it's because many times people think it's a special problem. These challenges are actually the tools that will make you rich and wealthy when you solve the problem, because money flows in exchange for goods and services, and it flows in exchange for value. When you offer value, money flows. What is value? Meeting needs, solving problem, answering questions. So yes, government have their part to play. About 75% of Nigerians live below $1 a day. That's extreme poverty. So no problem, we know that. But now, how do we solve the problem of the poverty, of the situation around us? That is what gives you the money. So instead of thinking about the problem, think about the solution. Every time you wake up, have what we call VAT, value added thinking. What can I do differently? What value can I have? How can I solve it? It is when you solve those problems that you make money. The people are poor. People are living under the bridge in Lagos, living in wooden shanties, but they eat at least once a day. If we have 25 million people in Lagos, so it means that at least 1 meal a day, 25 million meals a day. Not to talk of people that eat 3 times a day. So out of that 25 million, which one are you providing? People brush their teeth every day, whether it is with sponge or with Paco and Shakola and salt. Anyone, people bathe every day, they use soap. So think about all the money flowing. 30 December, how many billion did they say cross Lagos? Almost $90 billion.
They've not been able to get a handle on the full
can you imagine that? So which of them entered your pocket? Nigeria will say, oh, this is the budget for the year. As they are reading the budget, you are not a foreigner. You should sit down and go, this money, which one is my own out of this budget? You start looking at each of the sector. Where can I play? People are not ready to solve problem. You know, we do all this phoning program every time, and when I sit down, when they started this phoning program thing in Nigeria, radio program, I didn't believe it would work, because I'm like, so people will use their money to be calling you. But it started working because people were looking for a place to vent. So what had happened is what was happening with all this free readers association, where people sit in front of a newspaper vendor, they transfer it to the media. They will say, hello, who is that? What do you think? This country, have you noticed that almost every time people phone in, nobody is bringing solution? So what do you think we should do? That's the problem. The government, and everybody is complaining. The ability to identify problem is not a high level of intelligence. Everybody that have eyes can see when the place is dirty. Everybody that have nose can know when the place is smelling. It is the ability to solve the problem that makes you someone that is valuable. So we should become problem solvers, because the more you complain, feel like complain from today to tomorrow. Some of the people you are complaining to, they are deaf and dumb. They are not ready to listen to you. They are not ready to answer you. So you have to become intentional about becoming a problem solver.
So I'd like to think that, flowing from everything that you have said, the expression "the billionaires conclave" is not just a beautiful sounding phrase, that they are indeed billionaires. Are you a billionaire, sir?
This is asset declaration.
Yes, I am. Because I have assets worth over $1 billion. I've written over 100 books. One book alone is worth over $1 billion. Because if you look at who is a billionaire, then we begin to break it down. So, but for me, it's all about assets. So once you have enough assets to be able to do that, then you're good.
So a lot of us know you as the motivational speaker, the minister. Is it the author? Is it based on your work as, you know, these different realities and personalities that earned you the billionaire status in reality?
I've been doing business for 37 years. Should I be poor?
Okay. So you're also
So I didn't wake up one day and find money. So it takes time. Wealth creation takes time. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not something you just wake up and become wealthy. It takes time. If you are 10 years old or you are 20 years old, I just came back from Benin yesterday night. One of the speakers that spoke yesterday spoke about how she bought a land for 35 million 23 years ago, and she sold it for almost 800 million. Can you wait for 23 years? I went to Ikorodu in 2001 and bought 100 acres of land for 50,000 per plot. 2001. This 2025. Can you wait for 24 years? Do you understand? I went to Abuja in 2008 and bought 100 acres of land for 50,000 naira per plot. I waited till now. Can you wait? So wealth is created over time. So when you see people that are wealthy, it begins with a wealthy mindset. So all the people in the billionaire country, they are not all billionaires as in they have 1 billion, but there are people that have a mindset of offering value that will attract that level into their life, and that's the way it works.